Good morning, everybody. J.R. Fisher here. Good to see you. Appreciate you being here. What's going on, Richard? I see you there. Just put a nice comment up there. I appreciate that. We are going to talk about Twitter today, as if nobody else is talking about Twitter, but I want to talk about how you can take advantage of it. I'm going to get into the history of Twitter a little bit. I'm going to talk about what you need to do, what you need to set up on Twitter, and why this could possibly be one of the best social medias that has ever come along. And you're saying, well, it's always been there, JR. It's been there for whatever. It started, 2006, I think it was. I'll get into the history in just a second. But the point is, Elon Musk is running it now. Now, if you haven't paid attention, oh, by the way, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button down there, turn it from red to gray. Don't forget to ring the bell. Turn all bell notifications so you're notified each and every time we go live or if I upload a video. Yes, I've said that before. Probably thousands of times at this point. Probably, yeah, I'm sure I have. But I know we've all heard of Twitter before, but look at what Elon Musk does to things. And you can love him, you can hate him, whatever you want to do. But what we're talking about is business opportunities today. We're talking about opportunities to grow your business and how you can use Twitter to do that. And what I think I'd like to do first is kind of get into the history of Twitter, how it got started, what the whole deal was, because Twitter's pretty interesting. It's a micro blogging service. And I think you could do 280 characters now called tweets, something like that. And I am not a big user of Twitter. I put my videos up there, but that's about it. But I will be using it more, I can tell you that. And I've probably been on Twitter more since Elon bought the company than I ever have before. And there's reasons for that. But, basically the way it works is you post something on Twitter, you use hashtags, and then when people search for those particular things like movies or tennis or whatever it is, your stuff hopefully will come up. Now, it kind of came out of a podcasting venture with a guy named Odom, and it was originally founded in 2004 by Evan Williams and a guy named Biz Stone and Noah Glass. Now, a lot of these social media networks, we don't even know who's behind them, but we know now who's behind Twitter, that's for sure. Williams and Stone had previously worked at Google, and they had created a popular web authorizing tool called Blogger, which we all know about Blogger now. And then Apple announced in 2005 that it would add podcasts to its digital media application, iTunes, which was interesting, and we know that's really blown up and that's done great. And Odeos, is it Odeos? I think it's Odeos. Yeah, his name's Odeo. I said Odin before. Odeo's leadership felt that the company couldn't compete with Apple, and a new direction was needed. So what happened was his employees were asked about any interesting side projects that they had, and an engineer that worked there named Jack Dorsey proposed a short message service, or SMS, we all know about that, on which one could send and share small, like blog-like type updates to their friends and family and stuff like that. And he was actually the first one to ever tweet on Twitter. And he just put in there, just setting up my TWTTR account, which was kind of interesting. So that was the first tweet, and that was on March 21st, 2006. And the completed version of Twitter actually debuted in July of 2006. So it's not that old, guys. It hadn't been around that long. And they were seeing a future for this product. In October 2006, Williams, Stone, and Dorsey bought out Odeo and started Oblivious Corporation to further develop it. Interest in the platform sharply increased after it was presented at the South by Southwest, which is right here in Austin, where I live. And it's like a music and technology conference. And that was in March of 2007. So just a few months after that, actually. The following month, Twitter actually created as a corporate entity, and thanks to some, venture capital, and you know how that stuff goes, Dorsey became Twitter's first chief executive officer, and he's the one that you know about more than any of the other guys. But there were other people involved. So in 2008, Williams ousted Dorsey as CEO, and that was only 2 years later. Williams was replaced as CEO by Chief Operating Officer Dick Costolo. So, Dorsey wasn't really in there that long. From the inception, Twitter actually was primarily a free SMS with social networking element. As such, it lacked clear revenue streams, And up to this point, I don't think it's made any money whatsoever. But Elon looked at it, and he gave an interview this weekend, and I was listening to this interview. I don't know if any of you saw the interview with Elon. If you have, put something in the chat box there. And if you're watching this and it's not live, you can certainly put it in the comments section below. I'd love to see your comments on it. But the most noteworthy step in evolution of Twitter really was the increased use as a tool for journalists. Now, that's why Elon thinks this is so important. Twitter really transformed into an up to the second news source that really changed political borders. In January 15, 2009, a tweet by a commuter ferry passenger, Janice Crumbs, broke the story of the successful water landing of U.S. Airways Flight 1549 on the Hudson River. And we all know that was Scully, the pilot, Scully in New York City. So she snapped a phone picture of the image of passengers disembarking from the half-submerged aircraft that was unloaded onto twitpic.com, a picture hosting service that Twitter users can use. The site promptly crashed as thousands of Twitter users attempted to view it all at once. Now, here's the interesting thing. What has it evolved to? Well, there's a lot of celebrities involved in it now. A lot of government agencies use it now. Police departments use it now. Political candidates, governors, presidents, right? Famously, presidents use it. So it's really changed what it is. And I'm really curious to see what's going to happen. What I'd like to do first off, if you don't have a Twitter account, I'd like to talk about that for just a second and how you can use it. Let me see here. I'll pull up some of my notes here. That's Elon's stuff. I don't want to talk about that. We'll talk about it here. So if you want to set it up for business, you're going to need to do several steps. Okay. First off, why would you even use it for business? Well, it's a crowded social media landscape out there. There's a lot of reasons to make Twitter part of your organizational social media plan, but now more than ever with Elon involved in that. And like I say, you can love him or hate him. I happen to love him. I think he's a great guy. But he does get stuff done. Okay, he does get stuff done. And it was so hard because I was trying to prepare hairs. My hair, does my hair look bad? Would you say, Richard? Hairs. I'm not quite sure what that means. Look at you, possibly can't. Maybe he's making fun of my hair. I don't know what he's doing there. Anyhow, so explain yourself, Richard. I'm going to be sitting there being self-conscious about this. But now more than ever, I think Twitter is going to be very, very important. And I'm still trying to figure out my angle. And when I was preparing for this, I was going to talk about, well, he laid off, 3,700 people and all that. But as of this morning, now he's talking about bringing people back. So I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't. But it should be really interesting to follow. And I bet you guys have talked more about Twitter since Elon's become involved in it than ever before. Positive or negative, I bet you've talked about it more. And let me know what your comments are in that chat section there, or in the comment section if you're not watching live. So the first thing you really have to do is you got to create a profile on there. And it's going to be comprised of basically 4 different things. Your profile and header photos. Okay, that's going to be the first part. And then your display name and account @name. And then you're going to have a bio in there, and you're going to have a pinned tweet. So those are the 4 things that you're going to need if you haven't done so yet. The profile photo really represents your account everywhere on Twitter. It should be recognizable, and it really shouldn't change much. Don't keep changing it because people won't be accustomed to it. Most companies will include their logo in their profile image. I don't do that. Maybe I should. I don't know. The header photo can change more often since it's less important to your account's identity. That's the header photo, okay, but not your profile photo. This is where you can share your latest updates in a visual, good-looking format. Your @name is the name of your account, so it doesn't change. You can change your display name, but it's best to set it as your organizational name and leave it that way. I use just my personal name on there because I don't really have one for Survivalcave Food, so I don't really do that so much. Read my prior post. I meant to say he is in crosshairs from China. Good morning. I don't see anything about China in here, Richard. I don't know if maybe when you put your comment in, you didn't hit send, but there is no other one. All I see is the good morning one, and then it says hairs. So I don't think the other comment went through for some reason. That's why I'm confused. So anyhow, your bio is your brand's basically elevator pitch. Writing a good Twitter bio is really an art in itself. Don't forget to include a link to your website. That's really important. Now, a pinned tweet is the first piece of content users see when coming across your profile. It is not required, but it's a great place to highlight ongoing sales or promotions, a new product launch, so you can change that as you go. And I do want to get to what Elon had to say this past weekend, so I'm going to do that before we end today. You got to learn the terminology, okay? We all know that Twitter by now has its own terminology, and if you don't know the Twitter-specific vocabulary, let me go through it real quick. First thing is a hashtag, and it's a word or phrase preceded by the pound symbol. You know, that little hashtag pound symbol. It's called so many different things, but it's a piece of content that's specific or belongs to a category. Now, a mention is any tweet that contains the @ symbol, okay, followed by another person or brand's username. So when we do a mention, we're going to say, Kim Kardashian or whatever. And I don't even know that that's her handle because I don't follow them, but that's something you need to know about. That's what a mention is. You're going to want to monitor them to see what others are saying about you. So if you haven't searched your @ symbol, somebody could be mentioning you and you don't even know it. When an account shares another account's tweet, this is called a retweet. Okay, so if you see something and below it, you can click on retweet. It looks like a couple little arrows. That's called a retweet. Okay, and I want to just go through these basic things just so you understand, so that when I get into what Elon Musk had to say and what he plans on doing, and I know that can change by day, but I want you to understand this stuff. The next thing is a quote tweet. It's like a retweet, but with added comment about the original tweet. So instead of just retweeting something, you put a comment in there and then you tweet or retweet that thing. So that's a quote tweet. And we only got 2 more. Okay, there's not that many. The next one is a DM or direct message. And these are private messages between Twitter accounts. DMs from accounts you don't follow appear in your request folder by default. So if you haven't looked there in a while, which I have not, you're going to want to check that out. Don't forget to change the setting if you want to use DMs to interact with your customer. Okay, so you got to go in there and change your settings. And I would suggest all of you guys listening to this do this today, man. I really think Twitter is going to be the thing. I really do. It's just going in that direction. And some of you are going to say it's going to be the downfall and all this. Well, they said that about Elon starting a car company and a rocket company and the Boring company and the AI company. They said, oh, yeah, he'll never be able to do that. He's doing it. Okay, he's doing it. And then the last thing are topics. And these are subject headings that accounts can actually follow. So when you follow a topic, you'll automatically see content associated with that particular subject. Okay, so follow other accounts. This is something you're going to want to do. Follow other accounts. This is the only way that you're going to really be able to see what's going on. And here's the funny thing. When you follow other accounts, you're actually going to, how can I put it? You're going to get more accounts. Okay, you're going to get more people to follow you. Let's see what Richard's got to say here. Do you think Elon will be distracted or get a bad public image that could negatively affect Tesla? I don't think so. I don't think, Elon does comment on stuff, and he said some wrong things, and I'm not going to say what they are, but he said some wrong things, and we all do. We're human beings, but I don't think anybody thinks, outside of maybe some far lefties who think that he's evil and he's trying to change. I don't really think he is. I think he's very middle of the road, and I think he gives his opinions on stuff, but I don't think it's that politically motivated. He says he's been a Democrat. He says he's not a Republican right now. So I don't know. I don't think so. And Tesla is kind of on its own now. They have a great product. They make a good product. They're delivering. They're profitable. I mean, the stock's been very kind to me. Richard also says this is definitely now also put him right in the crosshairs of China as a casualty from U.S. tensions. Okay, so this must have been the comment that didn't go through before. I think he's always in the crosshairs. I know he set up that Starlink over in Ukraine, and he was saying that the Russians want to kill him and all this stuff. So I don't know. I don't know. All I care about is my business, and I think he's going to be good for my business. I really do. I think it's going to be something that's going to be very, very helpful. I think it's going to be something that is really going to change what Twitter is, and I think it's going to change your opportunities, which is something that really, really is close to my heart. Now, following these established accounts can really inspire you when you're new to Twitter, and interacting with them can help attract your own following. Apply for Twitter verification. And you could do this, but this has changed, okay? It used to be you had to apply for it, and you had to have an account to get that blue check that somebody would want to copy, or counterfeit. Now he switched it, and I think he's charging $7.99. I haven't read up that much on it, but I think it's $7.99. And I've got another article that I'm going to comment on in just a second, and that may have more information in that one. But you're going to want to learn about the processes of it. There's a lot of videos out there on how to use Twitter. Now, once you've got your basics set up, it's really time to start thinking about what Twitter can do for your business and how you can use it for your business. So what I'd like to do is kind of just go through some tips that may help you out. I've probably got more content that I can really fit in today, so I may have to go a little bit fast here in just a second to get some of this in. I did a lot of research for you guys on this. Richard says, but I'm encouraged and want to make a lot of posts and figure out new ways to monetize. Yeah, I think we all do. I think we all see an opportunity here. It's just, how do we capitalize on it? What do we do? What needs to be done? So you want to use, set up like a Twitter marketing strategy. Tweeting is really going to be part of your business. It'll help you articulate your Twitter goals and plan out how to achieve them. A successful Twitter marketing strategy will also be part of an overall social media marketing strategy. So I'm not saying get rid of Facebook, get rid of Instagram, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying you just want to look at this and possibly use this. Having more of a global view of your social media marketing will allow you to take advantage of each platform. You want to kind of find your brand's voice. Twitter is really a garbage pile of graves of account that didn't think before they tweeted. So it does pay to take some time and plan out your brand's voice on the platform. Let's see here. I pulled up one, and it's from Pixelated Beat, aka Mr. Tweets, and here's what he said. The whole internet loves milkshake duck, a lovely duck that drinks milkshakes. 5 seconds later, we regret to inform you the duck is a racist. So, I mean, they have some crazy stuff on there, and I saw that on Twitter. Don't be like milkshake duck. Think before you tweet. Having a consistent voice on social media really makes it easier to connect with your audience. Let them know who what you're really all about. It also helps your brand stand out among businesses fighting to share that 1.9 billion hours that users spend on Twitter each month. So you also want to use what's called Twitter List. Once you get active on Twitter and your feed starts to fill up, Twitter List can reduce the noise by organizing your feed into targeted topics. So you want to make a Twitter list, and it's like making a custom timeline that only contains content from accounts that you choose. There's a variety of topics that you may want to put in your list for your business. You can also keep track of your partners, your competitors, other accounts if you engage with them a lot. Next thing is use Twitter Spaces to engage with your audience in real time. Now, Twitter Spaces is really a new feature that allows you to host live audio conversations with other users. And I'm going to talk about something else in a second. I was about to say it, but I'm not going to do it because I know I have some notes on it from Elon. With Spaces integrated into Twitter platform, it's really easy to get the word out from your audio events. Also, you want to use Twitter ads to promote your content. They're not that expensive. Twitter, they say, whatever, and this has been argued, 353 million users are a big part of what makes it an active and attractive platform for brands. But the volume of content posted on Twitter every day can also mean that your brand's tweets really get lost and nobody ever sees them. So Twitter advertising is kind of the answer to that. That way you can make sure people can see them. You could promote anything from a single tweet to an entire account, whatever you want to do. There's no minimum budget. That's kind of interesting, guys. So even if you have a smaller company, you don't have to worry about having this minimum budget. Let's see here. Let me get to some of these comments here, guys. You're so kind to put those in there. So let me get to them. Thomas Clark, what's going on? Oh, Thomas Chapo, excuse me. I said Clark. I can't read sometimes. Is there a business account and also a personal account that are different? You can create different accounts. That's certainly true. You can certainly do that. And you can call them what you want, but basically you've got an account, that's what it is. Let's see here. Richard had something to say. What do you say here? Since my Facebook account was hacked, Twitter is now my only place left. Oh man, I'm really sorry to hear that, Richard. That sucks. That really does suck. But you can contact Facebook and they can help you with that. You can get some stuff reinstated. So, you may want to check that out. But you also want to use the Twitter's advanced search. Okay. There's like 7,000 tweets per minute, just about TVs and movies. Okay. Just about TVs and movies, about 7,000 tweets a minute. So Twitter's normal search bar usually isn't enough to find the content you're looking for. Twitter's advanced search, however, is a more powerful tool for sifting through tweets with many functions that help promote your brand. So that's something you would want to get into. You gotta go into the advanced search, and you'll see all the different things you can do there. And you can search by account mentions to find users who are engaging with you. Engagement filters allow you to find the most popular tweets about a subject. And the next thing you want to do is you want to understand the performance with Twitter analytics. Okay, just like YouTube or Facebook or whatever, there are analytics. Twitter analytics is really a big, tough platform that uses graphs and reports to provide insights to your Twitter activity. This tool actually provides data on everything from your top tweet to ad conversion rate. So you'll want to get in there and do that. Knowing how to use these analytics really gives you a lot of advantages to your business. You can use it to determine the days, the times, the audience, all that good stuff. So make sure you do that. And there's also a Twitter API. It's an automated programming interface, in case you don't know what API is. It allows you to make programs that interact directly with Twitter if you are that advanced. There's many ways that you could use this tool to help your business. You can create your own filters. You can get real-time, real-time data. So what's going on right now on the most relevant tweets, or create custom audience. You can just do all kinds of stuff. Now, using Twitter for business, what I'd like to do is give you 9 best practices. So if you want to jot this down off to the side, this is pretty important. Now, some of this can change because Elon's talking about putting long format videos on there. And I'll talk about that in a second. So you want to, number 1, keep it short. Okay. Simple, clear messages are the best way to really get your point across. There is a 280 character limit, and that's not a goal, that's a limit. Okay, so it's not like you have to do 280 characters. You want to write organically, because Twitter users really respond more to brands that don't sound like brands. They like it when it's a person. So Thomas, when you were asking about the difference in those two, they like it better when you're a person. They really do. The most engaged with tweets are usually those that don't contain links. That may be disappointing to you, but it is what it is. What's more, the engagement you generate from tweets without CTAs or links will also improve the engagement on your tweets that do contain those elements. So you can have some with those elements, but try not to have it, try not to have those links in everything you tweet. Engaging conversations, number 3. If you're just broadcasting out into the Twitterverse, I guess it's called, it's easy for your audience to tune you out. And you don't want a passive audience. The more engagement you get, the more visible you're going to be. So start conversations by using quote tweets or tagging other accounts. You could also run a poll to turn your Twitter communication into a two-way street. I know Elon did that a lot in the beginning. If you want to go further in learning how to connect with your Twitter followers, consider taking a course on the Twitter community. There's courses on it. But don't forget about CTAs entirely. Like I said, you can still put some out there. It is important to build your business Twitter community, but that community isn't an end by itself. The traditional best practices of ad copy still apply to Twitter, and knowing how to write a good CTA never goes out of style. Okay, getting people to click never goes out of style. Good business, Twitter strikes a balance between, conversational tweets and advertorial content. So it's a combination of the two. An extreme example of this balancing act is the Philadelphia Flyers hockey team's Twitter activity. Their mascot account, which is @GrittyNHL, posts almost exclusively organic conversational content. Here's one they did right here. I'm going to read it out to you. It says, Time to find out where the rubber really meets the road. I'm going to a little B-Day joyride, just me, the wind, and a couple 100 pounds of pure adrenaline betwixt my legs. Okay, so that was a tweet that they did. Their team account, on the other hand, tweets more like you would expect a business to. Their team account says, Boston bound for battle with bees. That's all they put, okay? So you don't have to do this 280 character thing. And number 5, do tweets with emojis. Using emoji in your tweets conveys emotion, and it does it really more concisely, and it has a couple qualities that Twitter users love. Knowing how to use Twitter emojis properly will improve your brand's visibility on Twitter. In fact, tweets with emojis generate more engagement than those without, so maybe you should put those in there. Number 6, use trending hashtags. Find out what those hashtags are and use them yourself. If you can jump in on that, it's going to help you. Number 7, tweet with visuals. I do it with some videos, but I think I'm going to do some more visuals. Twitter is mostly text-based environment, so images and videos do stand out more than on other platforms like Instagram, where they're just a visual in a feed. Tweets that include visual element, an image or a video, generate more engagement than those that don't. Tweets with an animated GIF, for example, get more engagements. They get 55% more engagements than GIF-less tweets. GIF-less tweets. Boy, the language we speak nowadays, right? Know when to tweet. Number 8 is know when to tweet. Recently, that has changed a lot. So you're going to have to kind of figure out what's going to work for your brand. Don't waste your perfectly crafted content by tweeting when no one's around to see it. Okay. In general, the best time to post on Twitter is 8 a.m. on Mondays, but that might not be the best time for your company. So you're going to have to test it. You're going to have to look at your analytics. Use Twitter analytics and track when your tweets get the most engagements, or use social media analytics platform like Hootsuite. I use Hootsuite to find out what times have been best ROI without crushing the numbers yourself. Or crunching, excuse me, I said crushing. And number 9, know how often to tweet. Knowing your pace on Twitter use is a delicate balance, right? Tweet too little and users forget about you. Tweet too much and they get annoyed and ignore you. In most cases, really, it's just best to tweet more than 1 or 2 or fewer to 3 to 5 times a day. Okay, so anywhere from 1 to 5 times a day is a good, happy balance. But you got to figure out what's best for you, because somebody may come along and say, "Man, I tweet 10 times a day, and it really works for me." There are really several ways to schedule your tweets so that they come out at the right frequency. Twitter has a built-in scheduling feature, and you can use social media management tool like Hootsuite, which is what I use, to schedule your tweets as part of a complete social media calendar. So that's what you need to do. Now, I want to talk a little bit before we get off of here about Elon. Elon is a really different kind of guy, and he always goes in different directions, and then he changes directions. Like he laid off he said he has 7,500 people. He laid off 3,700, and as of this morning, he says he's going to hire some of them back. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's very confusing. He told his workers by email Thursday that they would learn on Friday, and then they got an email and it says, "Hey, we're going to pay you until this time." He tweeted late Friday that there was no choice but to cut jobs when the company, get this, is losing over $4 million a day. That's what they lose a day. Now, I don't know how all that works. If I lost $1 million in a year, it would freak me out. But he did not provide details on the daily losses at the company, and said employees who lost their jobs were offered 3 months' pay as severance. And of course, they're still trying to sue him. I guess when you're that rich, you get sued every single day. There's no other social media platform that really comes close to Twitter as a place for public agencies, okay? Public agencies and other vital services. So election boards, police departments, utilities, schools, news outlets, keep people reliably informed as to what's going on. Many are scared that Musk layoffs will gut it and render it lawless. I don't think so. I think he knows what he's doing. And let me go over here and check comments real quick. Okay, am I up to date there? I am up to date there, so I'm good. Okay. And somebody speaking for the company's moderation group said that they'll be least impacted by the job cuts. So they are still going to moderate. That's going to happen. He added that Twitter's efforts on election integrity, including harmful misinformation, can suppress the vote and combating state-backed information operations, and they remain the top priority. As a matter of fact, this blue check mark that he wants to charge $7.99 for, he was concerned that could affect the elections, which are tomorrow, the midterms. So he says he's not going to even institute that until after those elections. And Elon actually tweeted that Twitter's strong commitment to content moderation remains absolutely unchanged. So they're still going to be looking at stuff. They're still going to moderate stuff. But a Twitter employee who spoke to the Associated Press Friday said that it'll be a lot harder to get that work done starting next week after losing so many colleagues. Of course, that's that one employee's opinion. And then you got a billionaire who has a different opinion. Well, so this is what he said. This will impact our ability to provide support for elections, definitely, said the employee who spoke on the condition of anonymity out of concerns for job security. And I don't know, man. I think he probably doesn't have as much knowledge as Elon does. Several of the employees tweeted about losing their jobs, said Twitter eliminated their entire teams. Maybe they weren't needed. I don't know, including one focused on human rights and global conflicts. Another checking Twitter's algorithms for bias and how tweets are amplified, and the engineering team devoted in making the social platform more accessible for people with disabilities. I don't know how you make it more accessible. I guess if somebody's blind and it reads it for them or something. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Now, there is a guy named Eddie Perez, and he's a Twitter critic, and he says the integrity team who quit in September said he fears the layoffs so close to the midterms could allow disinformation. Well, Elon heard that, and he says, okay, fine. I won't do anything until after the midterms. He's already figured all that stuff out. Joe Biden actually said at a campaign event in Illinois Friday that this is what he said, and I quote, "Now what are we all worried about? Elon Musk, who goes out and buys an outfit that sends and spews lies all across the world. How do we expect kids to be able to understand what is at stake?" I'm sorry, but I don't think Mr. Biden has his finger on the pulse of social media. I just don't think he does. And you can love him, hate him, whatever. I just don't think technology is his game at his age. I think Trump used technology a lot. You can say it was for good or bad, but he used it. The emailed notices that were sent out, many Twitter employees took to the platform to express support for each other, often simply tweeting blue heart emojis to signify its blue bird logo, and salute emojis in replies to each other. So I don't know what direction it's going to go. I think it is very important that we all look at it at this point. Elon did an interview I saw it over the weekend. I think he did it on the 4th, something like that. And give me your opinion. Put it in the chat box there. What direction do you think Twitter's going to go? If you're not watching live, put it in the comments section. Are you using Twitter now? Are you more likely to use Twitter? Are you less likely to use Twitter? I want to know what's going on in your mind. And I'll certainly reply to you in any comments or chats that you put in there. But I'm curious what direction it's going to go. I feel it's going to grow. I feel it's going to become huge, because that's what happens with everything he touches. He's not a dumb guy, okay? You can say what you want about him or his politics or his companies, but he's not dumb, okay? He's the richest guy in the world, unless you figure in some of these, I guess, Arab sheiks that we don't know what they make, but whatever. The point is, he's done pretty good, business-wise. He knows business, and I think he knows social media because he has this tenacity. He has this ability to control what the narrative is. Okay, he can do that really well, and he gets input. I love that he does surveys. He gets input from people to see what they're thinking. And I think he's funny. I think he's one of the few billionaires I've ever seen in my life that was funny. How many billionaires are funny? Bill Gates is not a funny dude. He ain't doing stand-up anytime soon. Warren Buffett doesn't tell hilarious jokes. I can tell you that. Steve Jobs was not a funny guy. None of these people were. Elon Musk is funny. He's got a sense of humor. And I think that sense of humor is what sets him apart from everybody else. And I think that's what's going to set Twitter apart from everybody else too, is a little bit of humor. Tell me what you think in the comments. Tell me what you think in the chat. I'm about ready to get out of here. I got a lot of work to do today. I got conference calls this afternoon, got calls with my daughter. My daughter's coming for Thanksgiving. Honey, hi there, if you're listening to this. And she's got a 5-year-old and 2 twin 2-year-olds that will tear this place up. So I've got to figure out how to make this place a little safer to live in, because, you know, we have too many things they can get into, pull into, climb on. Oh my goodness, it's going to be a free-for-all in here. So she's coming for Thanksgiving. I can't wait for them to come, but we do have to prepare. So I'm going to walk her through the house on a FaceTime and say, what do we need to do here? What do we need to do here? Because there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, I look at these, just our drapes. We have these drapes. These drapes here, I think, are 12 feet tall. And they go all the way down the floor, and that kid could just pull on it and climb up it, you know, and I see cabinets and my lights in my office. Goodness gracious, it's going to be interesting. Guys, thank you so much for being here today. You are wonderful. I love each and every one of you. I really do. Thank you so much for this platform and my ability to be able to talk to you and share my thoughts. And I want to hear yours too. So anything that you've got to say, you know, put it in there. Thomas, what are you saying here? I think Elon is cleaning up Twitter's overall act. I tend to agree. There's going to be people that disagree with us, though, Thomas. If Elon is successful, I think he will be. I will make Twitter a part of my business operations. Good for you, man. At least you're not closed-minded. Some people are like, oh, I'm going to go to Canada. You know, that's the new thing now. I'm going to leave Twitter is the old, I'm going to go to Canada. You know, what about getting involved and trying to improve things yourself? You know, and I love that Thomas, you're open to that type of stuff. And I am too. I'm very open to it. And I didn't care who bought it, you know. I really didn't, but I'd like to see a successful businessman who's got, you know, some successes underneath his belt running it. It only makes sense, you know, and I think some people think his politics don't lean in their direction. That's not the point. You're the one that sets the narrative on Twitter. And I think a lot of people who don't like him having it are trying to hush up the people that they don't agree with. And I don't mind that, man. Somebody disagrees with me, that's cool. Tell me what you're thinking. Maybe you'll convince me. I'm that open-minded, you know, so maybe you'll convince me. But anyhow, thank you so much for being here today, guys. I really do appreciate it. And I will be, what's today? Monday. I'll be live again Wednesday. So Wednesday I'll be here. Don't forget, I have new videos every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday on this channel. I have links below. I have affiliate links below. I have links to my reading list. Check that out below. Some of the equipment I use, I have links for that below. Links to other videos. So check out all that stuff, guys. I really appreciate you being here. It means so very much to me. It really does. It's so kind of you to give me this platform and to show up and participate. Thank you so much. And I will see you on Wednesday, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.